Hey, it's Tom from WPWithTom.com, and in this video I wanted to show you how to make a website by creating this mock tour guide website for the national parks within the United States. So my focus with this video is to cover many different things, such as changing our menu, adding different links, changing text, changing images, making a scrolling gallery over here on this page, and setting up a logo, adding video like this one right here, and also setting up a contact form, as well as so much more. So if that sounds good to you and you want to make a website in roughly an hour, let's dive into this tutorial now. Before we dive into actually creating our site, I wanted to go over some of the website costs associated with creating a website like this. So the first thing is hosting, and we can get hosting for about $5 per month. There's going to be variations of this plan depending on the duration of the plan that you actually would sign up for. You can actually do a month, 2, 3 years. So there's lots of different options out there to fit your needs, but it's going to be about $5 per month. It actually could be less if you sign up for a longer duration though. Next is a domain name, and we're going to get a free domain name for the first year coming with the hosting package. It's a bonus that they offer through the hosting service, so we'll have a domain name for free for the first year. After the first year, it will be roughly $15 to renew that domain name. Next is the WordPress CMS, and WordPress, luckily for us, it's free to use within any hosting company that is a reputable one that's out there. So it's going to come free within a hosting provider that we use here. And lastly, the WordPress theme and builder are both free that we're going to be using. I'm going to be using the Astra theme, and there is a free and a premium version of that, as well as the free builder Elementor, which also has a premium version. I'm going to have links to the premium versions below in the description if you'd like to take advantage of them. But if you want to just follow along, all you really need is the free version of each of these for the tutorial. So if you're ready to learn how to make a website, let's dive into this tutorial now. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is get web hosting and get our free domain name. So I have a link in the description, and it's wpwithtom.com/greengeeks, and that will ensure you're going to get the lowest discount on Green Geeks hosting that's available at this time. So once we navigate to that link, we can go to where it says WordPress hosting if we're not already there. And right now, while I'm recording this video, it's actually a Black Friday, so they have a sale going on. So the prices might look slightly higher than they have right now. I believe it's usually $1 more for the EcoSite Lite and $1 more for Pro. Now, the important thing to point out about these plans is, one, you're going to get a bigger discount when you do a longer duration of the plan itself. And the other thing is that with the EcoSite Lite plan, you only get one domain hosted, while with the Pro plan, you get unlimited domains, and same with the Premium as well. So that's the big key difference here. You're going to get the free domain name for the first year with all of them. So if you're happy with that, you can go and select a plan. I'm just going to go down here, click EcoSite Lite, and here we're going to be brought to where we're going to sign up for our domain name. So if you don't have a domain name already, this is where you would do that. If you already have an existing domain name, you can do that over here. I'm going to act as if we don't have one, and I'm just going to put in WP Wonderful, and I'll check the availability, and it says, congratulations, this domain name is available. Now we would fill out our information right here for our account, and then down here is where you'd actually pick a plan. So again, you would want to look at the duration, and you're going to get a lower price based on the duration of the plan. So the longer you sign up for, the better deal you're going to get per month. I think it's usually about $3.94 a month or something like that for the longest duration, and $4.95 I believe is what the standard is for a year usually. So you're going to get around $5 a month, as I mentioned in the introduction to this video. So just be aware of that when you're going through here. The longer plan you get, the better deal you get. So after you finish that, you can actually hit create account and get started. And I've actually already got an account. So what I'm going to do is I'll navigate back over to where it says Green Geeks and go to the home page. And I'm going to use the information that I just set up on that last section where I was filling it out to use my customer login. If for some reason you don't remember that information, you can go down to their live chat in the lower left or lower right of their site, and you can then talk to someone on the site about that or get it resent to you as well. So we can go to where it says customer login right here, and we can get started, or again hit forgot password if you can't remember it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in my login information here and get started with installing WordPress once we log in. If you want to, you can put remember me so it remembers that information. Now once we're logged in here, we're actually going to see this area, and this is basically our dashboard within the back end. So if we go to where it says cPanel right here, we're going to have control over a lot of different elements within our hosting package here. So let's scroll down to the bottom, and since we're using WordPress, we're going to go to where it says Softaculous Apps Installer, and we'll just click WordPress, and here we'll click Install Now. So I'm going to actually go here and make this say HTTPS, and in a second I'm going to make the site secure. This S is basically making sure your website is secure with this protocol, and we can do that here in a moment. First, I'm going to just run through how to install WordPress, then we'll dive into that. Here is wpfundamentals.com. That's going to be my website. I'm going to leave this blank over here. And over here we can choose our site name and our site description. Now you can edit this once you're in the site, but if you want to, you can change this right here. I'm going to go over where you can edit that as we go through the tutorial. So I'm going to leave it as is for now. Down here, I'm just going to then type in WP Fundamentals. And this is important for you to remember this login and this password here. So I'm going to hide this password and I'll type it in. Again, I would remember this password if you can, write it down. And here would be where you'd want a good email to go. If you forget your password or something like that, they can email it to this email here, and you can get contacted through there through contact forms by default as well. So this would be a place where you want to put an email that you're going to remember and have access to. This information is worth writing down or storing somewhere else. Here we can choose our site language, and that's going to be English for me. Some of these plugins are really good, actually almost all of them are, but I'm going to just skip over that for now and just go to where it says install to install our WordPress package. So this is going to take a few seconds, and now it should be done. Now if we were to go to the site right now, it says HTTPS for me by default, but for some of you that might not be in effect yet, sometimes it takes a moment to do. So we can go back here and go to where it says security and then add SSL certificate. And right here is where you choose your plan, and then you'd select the domain name that you wanted to go onto, and then hit continue, and you'd select Let's Encrypt SSL. So that's how you would set up your SSL for your site to make it HTTPS, and then you'd have your login as well right here. So to go to the login page, what we would need to do is go to where it says wpfundamentals.com/wp-admin. So it's going to be yourdomain.com.net, whatever you chose, yourdomain.com/wp-admin. That's the important part. So if we click on that, it's actually going to log us right in since it's our first time. But if we were to just log out and then go to wp-admin, it will take us to this login page right here where I need to put in WP Fundamentals, and this is case sensitive. And then I would need to actually put in the password as well right here that we just used to sign up, and then log in. If you want, you can also hit remember me in that spot. Now once we're into the site, we can actually start going through some of the settings here and editing them so we have a nice clean slate to work off of. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to X out of these two pages here for Green Geeks. So now we're just left in our site. If you want to, you can hover over this, right click, and open it in a new tab, and it will show us what our site currently looks like right here. So that is the default theme for the 2020 theme for WordPress. If we go back here, this is called the dashboard area. And within here we have control over our website. We can make a lot of changes from here and from in the appearance customized section. So I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to clean up things by first going to where it says post right here. And I'm going to just go to trash. And I'm just going to go into the trash area right here and delete it permanently. So that post was called Hello World. And we can see right here it says Hello World. If we were to refresh this, now there's no post there at all because we just deleted it and trashed it. It's like a dummy post right there. But posts are basically what you would write in if you want to have a blog. In this particular tutorial, I'm not going to have a blog on this website, but I have another tutorial on my channel with how to create a blog and how to edit blog posts if you want to check that out. So the next part from here, if we go down to where it says pages, we can click in there, and I'm going to trash the sample page right here. Again, I'm going to go into trash, and then I'm going to delete it permanently. After that, I'll go down to where it says comments, and now there are no comments. Before there was a comment on our post, but since I deleted the post, the comment went away as well. If we go to appearance themes, we can actually delete some of these themes out of here. So right now we have the active theme as the 2020 theme, as I said. Now, if we wanted to delete these themes that are not active, like the 19, 17, and 16 themes, we can click on this where it says Theme Details, and then go to the lower right and click Delete, and then OK. And we can do the same for the others if we click Theme Details, and then go down to the bottom and click Delete, and OK. And again for 2016, Delete, and OK. And now we have to have one theme active here. I'm going to get into installing the theme that we're going to be using here shortly, but first I'm just going to keep going through changing some of these basic settings. So if we go down to where it says Plugins, we have two plugins here that we're not going to be using, and we can go and click Delete and Apply to bulk delete them. Click OK, and now if we refresh this page, there's nothing here in the plugins section. So the last thing that I wanted to do as far as these default settings is go down to where it says Settings, General, and right here is where you have My Blog, My WordPress Blog, and you see that's what displays at the site title and tagline at the top of your site. So I'm going to make this say something different. I'm going to just say Explore, and here I'm just going to write something simple like the National Parks. And from here we can scroll down and you can actually change your administrative email address if you want. You can change your time zone. I'm just going to quickly change that to mine. And you can change your date format if that's something you want to do, or your time format as well. Change when the week starts on. You can change any of these things and just save the settings down here once you have them how you want. The other important parts in here, if you go to reading, this will show you how many blog posts you can show at once if you have a blog. And for discussion right here, you can choose how you're going to manage different comments. You can actually turn comments off completely, or you can hold them for moderation by clicking something like that. You can hold it if there's links in the comment. So there's lots of options as far as comments go in the discussion settings. You can actually turn them off in a post, and I go into some of that in my other tutorial. I'm not going to go into it too much here because it's not going to be very relevant for what we're making in this site, but I did want to show it to you. The other thing you can do is go down to where it says permalinks here and change it to where it says post name. Now this is important because if you were to have a website and it was by default on this plane, your website URL for a page about, let's just say, the Grand Canyon might say wpfundamentals.com/p=157. But with the post name format, you might have it say wpfundamentals.com/Grand Canyon. And then people can see what the link is probably going to be about before they actually click on it. And it's better for search engines like Google because it shows them what you're trying to rank for and what the page is targeting in terms of content. So changing it to post name is a great way to improve the overall experience for your user and for Google when they're trying to index your web page. So if you're happy with that, we can go down and click Save Changes down here. And that wraps up the basic changes I wanted to make on a site here. So next, let's just go into our free builder and our theme by going into where it says Appearance Themes. And we're going to click Add New and start adding our theme here. So there's many different themes, and this is called the WordPress repository right here for themes. If you wanted to, you can look at popular ones, you can look at favorites, latest. If we go into popular, I'm actually going to be using one right here called Astra, which is one of the most popular themes. If it doesn't show up here, you can search right here, Astra, and I'm just going to go over where it says Astra and click Install, and then I'm going to click Activate. So after I activate it, now I no longer need this 2020 theme. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go and delete it in the lower right, just as I did with the other ones I'm not using. And now this Astra theme is our active theme. So it says right here, did you know Astra comes with dozens of ready-to-use starter site templates? So I'm actually going to use one of them in this site when we make our site here. So now we can go to where it says Plugins and Add New, and we can actually install that. So if we just go here and we type in Astra Starter Site, it's going to load this Astra Starter Sites right here by Brainstorm Force, and I'll click Install, and from here I'll click Activate. So now we have this plugin activator right here. If we click See Library, we're going to be brought to where we can select our page builder. I'm going to be using Elementor, which has a free version, and click Next. And from here, there's over 100 ready-made templates. Now this is where it comes into play where you have free options and paid options. So once let's say agency are going to be the paid options, And again, I do have a link in the description if you're really interested in one of them and you want to get it, you can check that out. But for now, I'm going to be using a free one within this tutorial here. So if we go over to free, we can click on there and it's going to load these themes. And from here, we can choose our theme. I'm actually going to go with this one right here, Outdoor Adventure, which is pretty good to go with this National Parks theme that we're going to be going with here. I'm going to click on that. And from here, I'm just literally going to hit import site and it's going to start importing it. It should take less than a minute to import the site. I'm just going to pause the video real quick while it imports and then I'll hop back on when it's ready. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. It took 45 seconds for it to actually import. And if you want to, you can see this was our site before. If we were now to click Done, View Site, it opens in a new tab and this is what our site looks like on the wpfundamentals.com domain name here. We have all these different pages with different content as well that we can use for our site and to use to build off of and create something much quicker. Now, I said I wasn't going to use all of these pages with the blog, for example, so I'm going to get into which pages we're going to be using here and how to edit that menu next. So I'm actually going to close out of this, and here I'll just go and click the X to go back into the dashboard area. And now that we're back in the dashboard, I'm going to go over to where it says Pages here, and here I'm actually going to delete some of the pages, or you can actually change the name of the pages themselves if that's something you want to do. So we have Home, About, Services, Projects, Blog, Contact, and you can see them all here. So let's just say you wanted to change some of this. If you wanted to change Services, for example, you would click on Edit, and here you can change that to say Tours, and you can just type in Tours right here and then click Update, and now it says Page Updated. If you want to view the page, you can do that by clicking that. But you can see that we still have it saying /services right here. So if we go back into the page itself, we're going to need to edit that structure. So if we see permalink over on the right side, we can then change this. This is called a slug, and we can make it say tours as well. So now it shows us, it will look like wpfundamentals.com/tours. And now I'm going to click update again. And now if we go back to where it says pages, we can also do the same thing with gallery, and we're going to make projects right here. Click on edit. We're going to make that into where it says gallery, so we can actually do that right here again, and then we just change this to say gallery, and then I'll click update. Again, I'll go over to where it says permalink just like we did, and I'll make this say gallery as well, and I will just update it. So now we can see if we click on this view page, I'm going to X out of this one, we have gallery as our page right here, WP Fundamentals Gallery. So right now we have Home, About, Tours, Gallery, Blog, and Contact. If we were to go over to where it says Appearance and Menu right here, we can actually go and delete some of these. So let's say I don't want the About page, I can go here and remove it. And the same goes for Blog. I'm going to go here and remove it. As long as you don't delete it from the Pages section, the page will still be there if you want to add it back in. So let's say you want to add Blog back in for some reason, you can click on it and add it to the menu just like that. And you can drag it and drop it to rearrange it. If you want to, you can actually have it be a sub item or in a drop down menu by doing diagonal like that. I'm going to go and delete it and just have these pages Home, Tours, Gallery, and Contact. And I should also point out you want it to be your primary menu. So the primary menu is going to be this menu at the top, and your footer menu is going to be like your feet at the bottom down here. So if I go back here and I save this, we can see it says menu has been updated, and if we refresh it, now we're going to have Home, Tours, Gallery, and Contact. We do still have this Take Action button, and you can get rid of it if you want. I think I'm going to get rid of it in this case, but I'll show you where that is if you want to edit that here. First, I'm going to just go back here to Appearance and then Customize. After this is done loading, I'll show you where you can actually edit that and some other things on this page. So this area is called the customization area. You can get to it through Appearance Customizer on basically any WordPress theme out there, and it's going to have some basic edits that you can do for your site. So I'm just going to go to where it says Header right here, and then I'll go into where it says Site Identity, And here you can actually add a logo, but I'm going to get to that a little later on in this tutorial. First, I'm going to go through a few more things and actually come back to this. But if we go down here, it says display site title. So right here, it says the national parks. I'm just going to want to have the logo only and no site title. So I'm just going to go and disable that. And if you want to, go down here and disable the site tagline as well. So now there's no tagline or site title right here. It's just up here where it says explore the national parks at the top. So once you want to save changes you made, you hit publish. I'm going to go back with this arrow here, and then I'll go into where it says primary header. And here I'll go and I'm going to change this. So right here we have this option to put it in the middle right here, and now it's down there. Once we have a logo in effect, the logo will be above it, and then the menu will be right below it like this, centered in the middle. And you can also go to the right or left. You can change it however you want. I'm going to keep it in the middle like this right now, and I'm just going to publish it. If you want to have the traditional one, that's totally fine as well. Back here, I'm going to go to primary menu, and right here I'm actually going to remove this take action button. If you want to keep that, you can, and this is where you'd put a link to whatever you want it to go to. But I'm going to remove that from here and remove that link button. And now we will have no more button here once we go to none right here for last item in the menu. And I'll hit publish again to save that. And if we go back again, I'm going to go back one more time. Here I'm going to go to where it says global, and then I'm going to go to typography, base typography, and right here I'm actually going to change the font for the site. So if you look at the font, we have this font as our default font. It's totally fine if that's what you want. I would at least make it a little bit bigger than it is, so it's a little bit easier to read. You can see it adjust right here. So watch this font, and then if you adjust the size, it gets smaller. 16 is the default, so this is the default right here. I like it a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to read at 18. And I'm also going to just start typing in the font I want here. And here we are. And once you select a font that you like, then you can have it enabled here. You can actually choose different types of variants of the font. I'm just going to leave it as is and just hit publish. And then I'm also going to go back right here, go back one more time, go to where it says colors, base colors, and I'm going to just change the base color, text color, to be black like this, fully dark. You can see it changed with these headings here, that it got a little bit darker. I'm going to publish that, go back again one more time, and one more after that. And if we go down to where it says footer here, we can change the footer bar. So down at the bottom is the footer bar right here. If you want, you can just edit this text that's right here and edit this other section that's below the copyright. It's totally fine to do that. I'm actually just going to get rid of it and click on this one, so there's nothing in there at all for me, and it just kind of ends. It's totally up to you what you want to do with that. I'm just going to publish it and have it this way for myself. I'm really just kind of showing you some options that you can do and some minor changes that you can make. Make sure to publish the changes again before you're finished with them. And then if we go back over here, we can refresh. We're going to see this take action disappear. This logo area is going to change as well. There should be nothing there. So now we just have home, tours, gallery, and contact. If you scroll down, you can see that there's no longer a footer down there as well. And remember, we're going to navigate back into the appearance area to actually add our logo. But for now, I'm going to actually X out of here and go back into the dashboard now that we've made those changes. And I'm going to navigate over to where it says plugins and start adding some additional plugins that we don't have here yet after uploading the starter site with Astra. So let's go and add a few different plugins to make the site even more powerful than it already is. Alright, so before we start adding these plugins, I just wanted to go over basically what a plugin is. A plugin allows our website to have more functionality. So for example, Elementor is a page builder that's a drag and drop builder that we can use on the front end of our website. It normally doesn't come with a theme within WordPress, and you have to add it as a plugin, and with this plugin you're going to have more power and functionality within your website. So it's great to have these, and I always look at it as something like an app on a smartphone. You give it more power and the ability to do something that the smartphone doesn't come with out of the box. But once you add the app, it has a lot more functionality. So I'm just going to go and click Add New, and here I'm going to search for Yoast SEO, which is a very popular SEO related plugin. And it's going to be this first one right here. And I'm just going to click install now. And now that it's installed, I'll just click activate. And now we can see the Yoast SEO plugin is activated. Now I'm going to use this in the future when we're making these pages, but for now I just wanted to install that and show you how to do that. If we go to where it says add new, I also want to add WP fastest cache, and this is a caching plugin which can help speed up your website. I'll just click install now again, and I'll click activate. And here we're going to now have Yoast SEO right here on the left side, and we're going to have WP fastest cache. Let's click on WP fastest cache, and I'm literally going to check every box that we're allowed to check with the free version right here, and this will help speed up our website overall by adding each of these as checked. So then I'm just going to click submit at the bottom, and now it says your options have been saved when we look at the top of the site. So that's about it. I'm going to show you right here for the plugin section itself and just how to add them real quickly and how you can actually speed up your website with this one and then optimize your website better with Yoast as we go through this tutorial here. Next, I'm actually going to go over to pages, and I'm actually going to start editing with Elementor on our home page. So you can either click edit with Elementor right here. You can actually click on home and click edit with Elementor right here as well. Or you can go to the home page and click edit with Elementor at the top. So you have a few different options. I'm just going to click on edit with Elementor right here at the top, and now we're going to have a whole new look once this loads with the Elementor elements on the left side right over here. So let's dive into how to actually start using some of them and how to edit things with the Elementor builder on the front end. For those of you that are new to Elementor, my plan is to kind of get more comfortable and learn as we go through it. But first I wanted to give you a brief overview of how Elementor works and basically how we're going to be using it. So over here on the left side, there's 30 different elements. There's basic and general over here, and this comes with the free version. Again, with the pro version, which I'll have a link to in the description, you can get a lot more functionality because there's many more elements that you can use. But for now, we're going to be using these 30 within this tutorial. Now, if you look down here on the lower left, we have this area. It's called Navigator. If we were to click on that, we can actually go and rearrange the sections. So you can actually go and drag it and replace different sections. So this section at the bottom right here says upcoming tours and destination. Let's say I wanted that to be above this one. I could drag it and drop it, and now this is above upcoming tours and destination is above this. So I can actually move whole sections by using that navigator, and I just dropped it back down below it from right here in the bottom. Over here is history, so if we click on history, now we can see that we moved these sections in history. If I wanted to, I can go back and click this, and then now it will be back above it in the history. Or I can go back to where we currently are, and now it will be below it, just like we had from the start. But you can use different elements and move them around in the history and go back and revert back to where you were in your editing process to a previous point, just in case you make mistakes that really can come in handy. Down here we also have responsive mode, and you can view what it will look like on a tablet, on mobile, and back on desktop again. And you can make edits on each one. I'm going to actually X out of the navigator there. And over here we can see where it says preview changes. So right here we're in the Elementor builder. If we want to click preview changes, it will just open up a new tab for us, and we can see what it looks like live on the site without being in the actual builder itself. And then lastly, down here at the bottom we have update, and you can update to save changes that you've made on your website. So over here we also have other options. If we click up here, it will take us back to where all the elements are on the left side, right in the squared button up here. On the far left over here with these three lines, if we were to click that, we're going to have default colors, default fonts, color picker. But down here, there's a couple good ones that I like to use. Finder. So let's say you wanted to navigate to a page but remain in Elementor. Let's say we wanted to go to contact. If we just type in contact, we can then click on this that comes up, and I'll just click leave page. It's asking me because I didn't save the changes. And now we navigate over to the contact page, but we're still staying within Elementor. We didn't have to navigate out of it, go over to contact, and then click edit with Elementor. So that can save you a few steps there. Then again, we can also go back here and we can go to view page, which is another helpful one if you want to just view it from the front, like I was just showing you a second ago. So again, I'm just going to click edit with Elementor, and let's actually get into start editing some of the site here. I hope this little brief walkthrough here was helpful. And again, you're going to pick things up as we go through it and you get more comfortable. You're going to be able to build out a beautiful website and make changes to the existing pages that we already have on this site. So let's start making some edits to this page and creating our beautiful website. So making edits with Elementor is actually really easy to do. So if we actually want to edit text, we can actually just click on here, highlight it, we can just delete it from here. We can actually edit over here as well, but you can edit it right on the screen and see the changes live. So let's just say I wanted to write explore the national parks, and right here I wanted to then add something else. I'll just make it say nature's amazing gift. And you can actually stretch that out and resize the area if you want. You can actually go over here, right click on this and click delete. And then you can right click on this and click delete as well. And then it will be spaced out and fit in there a little bit better. And that's how you delete items within here. So once you make changes, I just suggest getting in the habit of just clicking update as we go. And the next thing I just wanted to show you is if we go here to learn more, we can click on that, click edit button, and you can choose where the button will actually go to. So in our case, my other page here is called wpfundamentals.com/tours. So I wanted to actually go to this page right here. Currently says services, but this is our tours page. I wanted to go to that once someone clicks learn more about nature's amazing gift right here. And I'll just make it right here. I'll paste it in, click update. Then it will go into effect with the new link here. So instead of learn more, I might want to say book a tour. And then I'll just update it again. So now if someone clicks book a tour, they're going to go to this tours page over here for a nature tour through one of the national parks. So again, if we wanted to scroll down, we can actually delete this section right here. I'm just going to right click on this and then click delete, and that gets rid of that section. Again, I'm just going to click update as I go. That's how I basically keep myself on track. But if you forget to update, remember you have the history down here if you need to refer back to things as you're going. The next thing I wanted to do is up here, I actually wanted to change this background image, and I use a website a lot. It's called unsplash.com, and on here you can search all different types of images for different things. So right behind us, it looks like this might be Yosemite. I'm not even sure. But there are a lot of national parks and pictures on here. There's a lot of nature pictures. There's a lot of just variety of different pictures available on here, but they're all in very high quality. So if you wanted to add different pictures on here, you could. Let's just say I want to search for Grand Canyon as an example, and maybe I'll download this picture right here. You can just click download, and it's free to use on your website. So you can add different images. I'm actually going to be using this one right here as we go through this tutorial, but there's lots of different options out there for images. I'm just going to be using these because I think there's so many beautiful images on here related to the national parks for this example of a website. So I would consider finding images on here and downloading them if you want to just follow along with this tutorial or make a website similar to the one I'm making right here. Or you can use your own images that you already have for your website, or possibly just use images right from here that are related to your website that you're creating. So if you have a website for a surf shop, maybe you just type in surf and then you get images like this. So I hope this helps as an example. I'm actually going to just go back over here. At the top, I'm going to right click, click edit section, go to style, and then I'm going to click on choose image. So this brings us back into our media library. And here you can upload images. You can actually go to the media library and see images that are already in your website. These ones came by default when we uploaded the theme. I'm going to go back to where it says upload files, and I'm going to upload files that I got from unsplash.com related to the national parks. So I'm going to click select files, and I'll go to the folder I have them all in, and I'm just going to literally just paste them over and drop them in. I'm going to X out of there, and they're going to load. It's going to take a moment to load since it's 21 images, so I'm just going to pause the video real quick until they're done loading. Alright, so we're back, and it took about a minute or so for those to all upload there. So what you can do is you can actually click on one to select it and set it as your background image. Now I've already kind of pre-selected one here that I like, and I'm actually going to go with Yosemite 4. And what you might want to do is you actually might want to name this, if this was an actual touring company, like my brother's touring company, his name is Buck, so his touring company might be Buck's Touring Company, and you might want that as the alternative text. I am just going to use the same alternative text here as the title, but in most cases you want this to be something that you're trying to rank for or related to the image within an article that you're trying to rank for within Google or other search engines. So it's important to optimize this. I'm just going to use it as Yosemite 4 for easy use here, but you want to make sure that is optimized for whatever you're trying to rank for, or for your website name at the least going forward. So I'm just going to insert it, and now we have this beautiful image as our background image here. Now what you can actually do is you can change it. So right now it says top center. You can actually make it center center or bottom center. Doesn't do a whole lot with this, but it's because we have it as a fixed attachment. So right here I want to point this out to you. So see, it says fixed right here. Watch the image in the background. The image doesn't move, but the text does when you slide the mouse up and down. If you were to go to scroll here, it's going to change it, and now this comes into play a little bit more when you change it to bottom center, center center, or top center when you have it on the scroll effect. And then if you were to use it, you'd see it scrolls and it just stays there, everything, the text and everything. So right here, again, I'm going to go to center center, but I'm going to make it a fixed one so we get this effect. This is called a parallax effect, where the text is moving but the image isn't. When you have it under scroll, they both are doing the same action together. They're both just staying there. So I'm going to make the image fixed and then move on down to another section where I'm going to change this image as well down here. So I'll just click update for that. Now this one I'm going to right click on edit section, go to where it says style, and this one is actually under background overlay because it has an overlay on it. If we just click on this image, we can then replace this one as well. So I'm actually going to use this one over here with the Grand Canyon. Again, I'm going to use this alternative text, paste it in there, insert it, and here we can see what the image looks like. Now something you might notice is it's a little bit difficult to read the white text on it. It's not awful, but we can do a little bit better. So how we can change that is we can actually go to where it says opacity. We can adjust it so you can make the image brighter or darker by using this. I'm going to end up setting it at 0.5 right here, and you can read it pretty well right here. Now I do want to change the text if I was making a real site here and go through how to change the text within each section, but it's really easy to do. You literally can just click in here and start typing. So I didn't really want to waste your time by going text by text through each section of the site and make it boring for you. I just really wanted to show you how to change the images here, how to edit the text, and how easy it is, how to set up a link on this page. And then if we want to, we can edit more of these images down here as well. For now, I'm just going to click update, and then I'm actually going to navigate on over. If I go over here, go to Finder, and here I'm going to type in tours, and I'll go to the post that says tours. That keeps us within the Elementor builder, and we can now see the tours page, or what says services. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to edit this and make it say tours, and then we can actually start editing the rest of the page from here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add and edit some of the elements from the left side of the Elementor builder here. So first I'm actually going to go and get rid of this. I can delete this star that was above there. I don't really like the star on the pages that they have here by default. And then we can actually go into editing the rest of this page. Alright, so as we did on the last page, I'm actually going to start by editing this image here. I'm going to go to edit section, right clicking right up here, go to style, and then I'm going to change this image. And here I'm going to add one from Yellowstone here. So I'm going to go to, let's go with this one, Yellowstone 5, and I'll insert media. And now we have this different background than the original one. Again, if you want to, you can actually make it a little bit brighter by going to where it says background overlay and changing this if you want. I like it to be at least a little bit darker so you can read tours. I'm probably going to leave it as like 25 like that. I think it looks like a good blend of dark enough to read tours, but you still get some of the brightness of the initial picture here. And I'll just click update. And next I'm actually going to go down here and I'm going to reduce the padding between these two sections. We'll see why here in a second. So let's just actually go to where it says add section. And first I'll just add this section, then I'll reduce that padding. So you can just click this plus right here, and then you can drag a different element from over on the left side over here. So I'm going to drag in the star rating element, and now we have this 5-star element. Basically, I'm going to just say it's a 5-star tour, or try to make the tours look a little bit better. So you can change the layout here. I'm going to go to alignment center, and then I'm going to go over to where it says styling, and I'm going to increase this. I'll make it like 55 or so. And if you want to, you can go to color and change the color as well using this color wheel. And I'll just go over here and I'll pick a little bit brighter yellow color, maybe something like this would do. And I like how it looks for the most part right there. You can play with that and change it if you want. Now down here is where I want to adjust this padding. So if I go down here, I'll right click, edit section. And right here, you can see there's quite a bit of space between this text and the stars. If we go over to where it says advanced, you can see the padding over here. So let's just try to adjust this. I'm going to go with 25 and see how that looks. And we have 90 padding on the bottom right here. So beneath this text is 90 pixels between. I'm going to adjust that and make it 75. And that looks pretty good to me, I think. You can play around with that and adjust the padding on the top, bottom, left, and right if you want here. Now, if you do want to adjust all of them, it links all the values together. So that's how you do that, by clicking that. I don't like to link them all together, at least not in this case. So I'm going to leave this as is. Now you can, again, change this text very easily, but I'm just going to go on to the next part here. And I'm going to change these images just like we've been doing. I'll right click, edit image, and I'll click on here. And here I'm going to just add different images. So I'll go with this one right here for Grand Canyon. And I'll insert that. Now you see it's a little bit different size, but it's okay. It's going to end up being all right as long as our images are the same size. So let me just show you that. I'll edit this image, click on it. It says 1024 by 1024. If I click on that again, let me go over to where it says Yellowstone, and I'll go with this one. Now you can see right here it says 1920 by 1080. If you need to, you can actually go and click edit image. And here you can adjust the size of your image to make them more equal to each other here. So I'm actually going to X out of that, and I'll just insert the media. So now we have this image as well. And I'll do the same thing, edit image, right click, edit image, and I'll go down and I'll use Yosemite right here for this one. And I'll right click, edit image, and here I'll click on the image and I'll go to this one right here of Zion National Park. And now we have the 4 different national parks where we're going to have these hypothetical tours going on at. So you can click in here and change them. So I'm just going to make this one say Grand Canyon tours. And it's good to hit on keywords like that. So if you're trying to rank for Grand Canyon tours, that's something you might want to do. Here I'm going to have Yellowstone tours, Yosemite tours down here. And then last but not least, we're going to have Zion tours here. And you could again adjust this text beneath, maybe to go into a little bit more detail about the tours. I'm just going to click update right here. And next I'm actually going to scroll down here and we're going to add another element. So if we go to add new section, we can actually choose a different structure. So let's go with 2 wide here. And here I'm going to hit the plus. And if it doesn't go right away, you can actually click here to get over to the elements, just so you know. And here I'm going to add some icons. So let's go to icon right here and I'll drag this in. And from here, I'll just go and click on the icon itself and it will bring us to this library. So let's just say we want to talk about how you're going to enjoy the tour. Let's do thumbs up. If you type it in, it will come up. I'm going to go with this one right here. Click insert. And then I'm going to go over to where it says style here. And I'm going to change the color of it. So if you want to, you can change it. You can grab the color from somewhere else on a website if you want this specific color. What you would do is you'd click in here, go to style, get this color, and grab the hex code here. And you can go back here to this one, go to style, color, and then paste it in. to keep the same color throughout the website. So from here, we can actually go and right click, and I'm going to click duplicate to just copy it, and I'm going to drag it and just drop it right over here. So now we have 2 thumbs up. But let's say you don't want thumbs up, you want to talk about something else in this section. Let's talk about how the cost is going to be cost effective. You can go and put a $sign over there or a money symbol over there. And then what we can do from here is we actually can drag it and we can drop it right above this section. So I'm going to drag it, click, hold, and drop it right here above. And then we could just go and write something like, "You'll enjoy the adventure," or something like that. And over here, we're going to write cost effective tours. And then you could go into more detail about that. I'm just going to update right here to make these go into effect. And then I'm going to do another 2 wide right here. So let's just go and hit plus here. And I'm going to make this one a testimonial. So if we go on the left side over here, we can see it says testimonial. We're going to drag and drop that in here. And I'm actually going to just duplicate it again like we just did. So here you could change the testimonial. And then we also can just go over here, click on choose image, and we can put images in here. There's not really any good ones of people's faces, but let's just use this one as an example. Insert it, and then I'm going to just go and duplicate it. And I'll again go over here, drag it, and drop it over into this section here. And you can change the designer label here or the name. You can go into style and do more with it. As far as the name and title, we can change the color and the typography in this section as well. So there's different things that you can do here. If you want it, you can also go to where it says Navigator down here, and you can rearrange these sections. So if you wanted this one above, you could do that and drag it above for the different sections you want the testimonial before you want those. I'm going to go and drag it back and just leave it as is with this setup here. And then I'm going to go over and actually click update. And we're going to move on to the next page. So I'm going to X out of Navigator. I'm going to go over here and go to where it says Finder. And from here, I'm actually going to type in Gallery. And then our gallery page will be the one we'll click on. And we'll move over to the gallery page here and start adding our images here and changing some of the layout for this page as well. Alright, so keeping with the tradition that we've been going through here, I'm going to change this image right here first by going to Edit Section at the top. Go into Style, and then I'll select the image, and I'm going to add another one over here. I'm going to go with this one, Zion at Night, and I'll insert that, and now we have this image here. So the big things that I wanted to go to on this page are actually editing this gallery. So if we were to click on this and edit image carousel here, we can see it says 4 images selected. So let's actually go and click this right here to edit them. And I'm going to get rid of each of them by clicking the X in the upper right corner. And then I'll go to where it says Add to Gallery. So here we can add different galleries on our site. So let's say we wanted to add one for Yellowstone. We can go and click on the image, and then we actually can hit Control and click on each of them to select more than one. So these ones right here are all from Yellowstone. I'm going to go to Add to Gallery. If you want to, you can give them captions, or you can actually go and rearrange them. So let's just say you want a certain order. Maybe I'll do something like this just to mix it up a little bit. Maybe I'll throw the one with the buffalo in it right there. And then we have this order, and I'll just insert it in. And once it goes into effect here, we're going to see that we have the 7 images that I just put in here. There's 7 dots here at the bottom. If we were to click on them, you can see it goes from one to the next. Now, what I'm also going to do is go over here. It says slides to show. So if you wanted to, you could just show one, and it would just be this large image of the Grand Prismatic right here. And if you want to, you can go and make it 4. You can change the sizing however you want. I think 3 is actually pretty good, but it probably depends on the number of images you have. Maybe you'd be best if you made it an even number like 6, and then you had 3 of them in there. So let's just say I want to take out this one right here, and I'll just go Insert, and now we're left with 6, and it shows 3 at a time. So another thing you can do is go down here, and you can also change the navigation. So right now it says dots, which are underneath. We can change that to be arrows, or you can make it arrows and dots, but now you can easily scroll through each of the images from Yellowstone. And if you're happy with how that looks, then you can go and actually change some of the text. So I'm going to go up here and just change this to say Yellowstone Gallery. And then if you're happy with it, just click update. Again, you can change all of this text, but I really wanted to just go through and show you how to do this and add images to the gallery. So if we click on this one, we'll edit this one as well. And let's just delete these. And I'm going to go again to add to gallery here. And I'll just add some images from Zion right here. And it's those 4 in this case. So I'm just going to then go add to gallery. And I'm not going to rearrange them for this one. I'm just going to hit insert. And here, since we only have 4, maybe you would want to put it as 2, and then it also has 2. It's totally up to you. I'm going to leave it as 3 so it looks the same as this as far as style goes. And here, I'm just going to put Zion Gallery. And next, I'm going to scroll down. I'll save this one or update it right here as well. And I'm going to click on this. And again, I'm just going to go up here, click edit, and I'm going to change this gallery as well. I'm just really just showing you how to do this. And again, you can highlight them and add multiple ones at a time. So let's just go and click here, and I'll add a bunch from Yosemite right here. I'll insert and add them in. Again, I have 6 of them here. I'm going to use the one that I like the most in the front here. Then I'll do this one. It looks kind of like a personal picture. And I'll mix it up like that. So I can insert it in. Again, I'm going to have 3. And I'm going to have the navigation be the arrows. I think I forgot to update on that one above. And I did. So let me just click up here. Choose navigation, arrows. And I'll update that as well. So now we have 3 with navigation arrows. And I'm going to actually change this one to say Yosemite Gallery. Again, you can edit all this text very easily on your own. That's why I'm not going through it. It's going to get really repetitive if I start to do that. Next, I wanted to actually show you how to add a video. So if we go over here and we'll hit the full screen here, we'll go to the icon up here in the upper right of the Elementor area. And we'll drag video over and just drop it in here right there. And right here, that's where your link's going to go. So this is a video placeholder that Elementor has for their widget here for this element right here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab a video that I have on Yellowstone National Park, and I'm just going to paste that link right in here. So if I paste that in, we're going to see that it comes up, and here's a video by National Geographic on Yellowstone Park. And you can actually choose if you want it to be muted. So it's kind of cool. You can have this video in the background and be muted, or you can have it be in a loop so it just continuously plays. You can actually have both those settings going. If you want a continuously playing video in the back of your website, that's how you would be able to do that. So you can also choose if you want to have player controls enabled or not right here as well. So once you're happy with that, I'm just going to hit update, and then I'm actually going to rearrange this a little bit. So I'm going to go down to Navigator. I'm going to grab this last section, and I'm going to drag it up here to be the second one. So if we scroll up past the 3 that we just made, here we are, and it goes from our projects, which I'm going to change up here. I forgot to do that. And I'll name this one right here, Galleries. And I will remove the star right here, and I'll just update that. So now on our Galleries page, we have this video right underneath of it. And from here we can actually go and change this. Let's go to Edit Section, and we're going to add some padding by going to Advanced, just like we did earlier. Now this locks in all the values together. I'm just going to put in 75 and see how it looks. And now we have a little bit of space between each section, and I think that looks pretty good. If you wanted to, you can disable this and change things in a different way. So let's say you don't want this much space between these two. You could go and make it something like 25 on the bottom, and then it's a little bit closer. It's totally up to you. I'm going to just click Update here, and if that looks good to you, we can actually go, let's preview the changes here and see what it looks like. So here we have the Home, Tours, Gallery, and Contact, and it's in the Gallery section. And then we have this video that goes down into our different galleries of some of the locations that we'd have tours going for. So next, let's navigate back over to here, and we'll go to the 3 lines in the upper left, go to Finder, and here we'll simply type in Contact, and we're going to get started with our contact page over here once this page loads. Alright, so now that this has loaded here, I'm actually going to do the same thing, go to Edit Section, and we're going to just change the image by going over to Style, change it right here, and the only one I haven't used so far is a Grand Canyon one, so I'm just going to use that one for the main image on the page. And then here I'm going to click on it and delete the star as I've done previously here. And I'll X out of the navigator and just click update. So now that it's updated, we can actually go down here and here's our form. So if we were to click on this, it actually shows a short code right here for our form. So now we're going to actually go back here into the dashboard area where we haven't been in a while, and we're going to actually start adding our form by going to WP Forms. And if you see right here, it says WP Forms ID equals 7, and that is the form right here, ID equals 7. So what we can do is we actually can edit this one here if we want, or we could create a new one. And what I'm going to do here is go into where it says Settings, Notifications right here. And from here, I want to make sure that the send to email address is the one that we want it to go to. So I'm just going to put this in here, for example, and then I can hit save if I want. It saves it right there. If we go back to fields, we can actually add different fields in here. So let's just say you want something with checkboxes. You would add that in here, and then you can change the text that you want right here where it says first choice, second choice, third. You could do that right here. And you can also make fields required and then save it. So I'm just going to save it like this. And then if we go back and let's just go and preview the page here, it's going to now have the checkboxes with this in the form that we just created. So that is how you do that. If you wanted to create a completely new form, what you would do is go back here and you'd grab this short code ID right here, the whole thing like that, copy it, and I'll go back here and you'd want to paste it right into this area and then save it and update it. So that is how you make that change here. Once you've done that, our contact page is basically done and ready to be used. You can easily edit the text over here as well. For now, I'm actually just going to X out of this area. You can actually go back right here by going exit to dashboard if you'd like. And we're going to be within the dashboard here. I'm going to X out of that. And we're just going to start going over something with Yoast, and then we're actually going to create a logo as well. So let's go look at our pages right here real quickly. And if we wanted to go over to where it says home page and just click on edit, not edit with Elementor, we'll just click edit this time. You're going to see that our page has this new thing here, and that's the Yoast SEO plugin here working. So I'm going to click out of that, and this asks for our focus keyword. So if our keyword was going to be about tours, maybe we'd say National Park Tours, and that would be our keyword. You'd also want this to be along your site as well. You'd want it to be in the content in the site on the home page, and then you'd also want it to be down here in this snippet as well. So if we click Edit Snippet, we can now write a description. And you see this looks a lot like what your thing would look like in Google if you saw a snippet. It's a snippet preview. On a slug, you want it to say National Park Tours. And then you want National Park Tours are a wonderful way to experience the beauty of the United States by traveling throughout the country. And I just wanted to get that to this green text area here with that. Now you're going to want your main keyword, your slug or your focus keyword right here, National Park Tours, to also appear right here, which it does right at the start. And you want it to be within the actual body of the text on your page. So this on a home page, you'd want it to say National Park Tours somewhere as well. And all this does is help tell Google or Yahoo or Bing or whatever search engine what you're actually trying to target for your website. So right here it says WPFundamentals.com, and then it says National Park Tours right away. National Park Tours right there. You don't want to go overboard, but you want it to be in the Yoast SEO plugin. So how this plugin works is it actually gives you hints. So if I click on readability right here, we'd want to try to meet greens for each of these. So red is bad, orange is in the middle, and then green is good. It's supposed to be a stoplight, but I think that's more of an orange than a yellow. Anyway, if you try to meet green requirements for all these, I wouldn't go too crazy over it, but it will optimize your page better for search engine optimization. So the last thing I wanted to do here is go over our logo. If we go to our appearance, customize section, I'm going to leave the page with actually not saving that, but you'd want to update it if you were going to save the SEO that you've done. From here, I'm going to want to go to where it says header, site identity, and here is where we're going to add our logo. So the site I'm going to go to is called logomaker.com, And from here, you can actually make a logo for free. You will need to give credit if you do make a logo, but let's just go into something real quick. And I'm just going to put this one as a camera icon. And I'm basically doing that because you'd probably want to take pictures when you're going to look at the national parks. I'll just use this one right here. And once I'm happy with how it looks, I can actually go and change the colors of it. So if you wanted to, you can go with this color wheel right here. I'm actually going to make it like a lighter looking camera right here. You barely can see it, but I'm doing that because if we went over to our site, we have this darker background right here on the site. So if I want to, I can just download the logo itself. You can add text over here, add shapes, different colors. I'm just going to save it as is. I'll save the logo. Again, it asks you to give credit, or you can actually purchase it for $19. I'm going to download a low resolution file, and from here I'm going to just save the file, and I'll go into my folder, and I'll go back over to the page, and I'll go to where it says select logo right here, upload files, and I'm going to drag the logo file that I just got over into here. I'm just going to name it logo, and I'll make the alt text logo as well. You might want to put National Park Tours logo, something like that. I'll hit select. Here you can actually crop it if you want. I'm going to just go right down to here to the bottom, not where the reflection is, and I'll crop the image in this case, and it will add it to the site right there on the top. So you can play around with that. You can actually resize it if you need to, and you can choose if it's going to be displayed on other devices. Another thing you could do is site icon is actually the fab icon. You see right here, that's what that would look like. If you wanted to, you could also add it up there as the fab icon. I don't think it's going to look that great with the white, but you can do that as well. And now it is the site icon as well. I'll just hit publish, and now we have our logo, our menu, the text here, and we have a lot of beautiful images throughout the site, and we went through a lot of different things. I'm going to X out of here, X out of the logo maker, and I'm just going to go over to the site itself. So let's just actually go visit site, and here we can see the final product of our site. If you want to, you can easily go to edit with Elementor and delete or change some of these aspects. You can change the images if you want. I'm just going to quickly go through here and show what we finally made as our final product here for this site. So we have a lot of nice features in here. Again, you can add spacing to some of these if you want. I could have done that a little bit better at the bottom, I think, but that's all right. You get the idea. I really want you to learn how to create these images and contact forms and things like that, and get more comfortable with using the builder and making a mock website right here. So again, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a website, and I really hope that you feel more comfortable with it after watching this video. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more WordPress related content. Thanks for viewing, and have a wonderful day.